I told you that the heaviest burden you're carrying as a working mom isn't your endless to-do list, your career demands, or even the mental load of managing your household? What if the heaviest thing you're carrying is something completely invisible and completely unnecessary? Hey there, I'm Rima, and I work with working moms who are trying to juggle it all: motherhood, career, home, and somehow still find themselves in the equation. And today, we're talking about something that's quietly sabotaging your joy and keeping you small. Living your life through the lens of what others think of you. When you're constantly worried about others' perceptions, whether we're being a good mom, professional enough at work, organized enough at home, we're carrying a burden that was never ours to begin with. And listen, it's time to put it down. Here is what's really happening underneath all that people-pleasing and perfectionism. Deep down, there is this nagging voice saying, I'm not enough, not smart enough, not organized enough, not present enough, not successful enough. The list goes on. And here's the kicker. We think we can just get everyone else's approval if we can just meet their expectations. Then finally we'll feel worthy. But here is the truth bomb. Only you can give yourself that stamp of approval. No one else can fill that void. You could have every single person in your life tell you you're amazing. And if you don't believe it yourself, it won't stick. Because the validation you're seeking externally can only come from within. Now, let me share something that's going to shift everything for you. Every single person walking this earth, including the ones whose opinions you're worried about, they're all looking at you through tainted glasses. These glasses are made up of their own conditioning, their traumas, their background, their fears, their limitations. When someone judges you or perceives you in a certain way, that judgment is filtered through their own stuff. It literally says nothing about you and everything about them. Think about it. You know that person in your life who always seems critical? That's not about you. That's about their own inner critic that they've never learned to quiet. The person who thinks you're too much, they've probably been taught to play small their whole life. Their perception of you is just a reflection of their inner world, not a truth about who you are. Now, let's talk about who you really are. Picture a newborn baby, maybe your own child when they were first born. When you look at that baby, do you think they need to earn their worthiness? Do you think they're not enough until they achieve something? Of course not. You look at that baby and see pure perfection, infinite potential, complete worthiness just because they exist. You are that baby, and you have never stopped being that perfect. Your essence, your core was born divine. And nothing that's happened since then has changed that fundamental truth. Now, I'm not talking about our actions here. Every action has consequences, and we absolutely have the responsibility to own our choices and their outcomes. But your actions are not your essence. Your mistakes are not your identity. Your worth isn't determined by your productivity or your performance. Your worth exists because you exist, period. When you truly let go of others' perceptions, something magical happens. You become attuned to your inner wisdom. You start making decisions based on what feels authentic to you rather than what looks good to others. You give yourself permission to pursue your dreams without constantly checking if others approve. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You start showing up as your most authentic self. And from that place, you operate at the highest level of who you are. For us working moms, this is life-changing. When you stop carrying the weight of what you think others expect from you, you become so much lighter. You start making choices that are congruent with who you truly are, not who you think you should be. And here is the beautiful ripple effect. When you live from that place of inner knowing and self-acceptance, you naturally become better at everything you do. You're more present as a mom because you're not mentally rehearsing what others might think. You're more confident in your career because you're operating from authenticity, not insecurity. You're more at peace in your home because you're not trying to live up to some impossible standard. And most importantly, you finally give yourself permission to attend to your own needs, not as an afterthought, but as a priority. Because you recognize that taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. So here is your homework. This week, I want you to catch yourself when you're making decisions based on what others might think. Pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, what would I choose if I knew I was already enough? Your life is waiting for you to show up as who you really are. And the world needs what you have to offer when you're operating from the place of authentic worthiness. If this resonated with you and you're ready to dive deeper into releasing the people-pleasing patterns and stepping into your power as a working mom, I'd love to support you. Check the description below or in my bio for ways we can work together. Remember, you are inherently worthy. You always have been. You always will be. See you on the next video.